In this video, we're going to go through the 11 most popular functions in Excel. Once you know how to use all of these functions, you'll be able to create all kinds of different spreadsheets. Also, this is a quick look at the functions, so if you want to learn about them in more depth, then check out the links in the description below to our full-length videos. And if you'd like to grab a copy of the template I use in this video, just click on the link in the description below. So what we have here is a sales report. So we've just got two different stores here, North and South. We've got a bunch of stock keeping units, and then we've got their related products. And then we've got the sales numbers for January and February. And we're going to use this sales report to have a look at each of the 11 functions. So let's start off with sum. And all you need to do for sum is just go to the cell where you want the result to show and type in equals sum and open the brackets. And then you just need to select the numbers. So for this one, we're just going to run the mouse over the array of numbers there for January, close the brackets and press enter. And we get 3,800 as the result for the total number of sales for January. Okay, so if we want to easily copy that across to February, all we need to do is put the mouse over the little fill handle down in the bottom corner here, left click on it, drag it across, and then let go of the mouse button. And as you can see, that's adding up all the numbers for February. All right, let's have a look at the average function now. So we'll come down here and type in equals average and open the brackets. So we just need to select all the numbers that we want to evaluate. So I'll just run the mouse over the array of numbers there for January and then close the brackets and press enter. And we get an average of 271 for January. And once again, we can just use the fill handle to drag that across. And we also get the average there for February. Okay, let's do the count function now. So if we come down to this cell here and just type in equals count and open the brackets. And once again, we just need to select the numbers that we're evaluating. So we'll just run the mouse over the numbers for January, close the brackets and press enter. We get 14. All right, so the count function is counting the number of cells that contain a number. And there are 14 cells in that array. So even though there's the number 0 in there twice, it's still counting it as a number. So it's counting everything in there as a number. Now, if we drag this across, we can see for this one, we actually get 13. And the reason we get 13 is because there's a blank cell at cell E6. So we've got a 0 at E13 and a blank at E6. It's counting the 0 as a number and it's not counting the blank as a number. So that's why we get 13. Okay, let's see how to find out how we can get the lowest number out of the entire array of sales numbers. And we'll use the min function for that. So just type in equals min and open the brackets. And then we just select our array like this and close it off. And 0 is the minimum value or the lowest number in that array. Now, if you want to know how to do that with ignoring the zeros, just check out our more comprehensive video on the min function, which is linked to in the description below. Okay, let's have a look at how to get the highest number now out of the array. So we'll use the max function for that. I'll just type in equals max and open the brackets. And we'll select our array of numbers with the mouse, close it off. And 1,350 is the highest number or the maximum value that we can find in that array. And that's down there at cell E15. Okay, now we're going to have a look and see how we can sum all of the numbers for the North store, and we're going to use a SUMIF function for that. So I'll just come here and type in equals SUMIF and open the brackets. Okay, so Excel wants us to select the range, and this is the range for the criteria, and the criteria is north. So that range is over here. It's the range of all the store names, and then hit comma. The criteria we're just going to type in here, which we need to put in quotes, and it's going to be north, and then comma. And then it wants us to choose the range that we're going to sum, which is all of the numbers over here for January and February. And then we'll close that off. And we get 1,520, which is a total of all of those numbers there for the North store for both January and February combined. Okay, so you might have noticed that we just hard-coded North in there. If you want to learn how to make that more dynamic, then check out our video on the SUMIF function. Okay, now we're going to grab the sales numbers for January, just for the North store and for stock keeping unit PB001. And to do that, we'll use a SUMIFS function. So we'll just start that off by typing in equals SUMIFS and opening the brackets. Now the sum range is going to be the values for January and comma. The criteria range 1 is going to be the store names and comma. The criteria 1 is going to be north, which will be in quotes and comma. Criteria range 2 is going to be the stock keeping units and comma. And the criteria 2 is going to be PB001, which will also be in quotes. Okay, so we'll just close that off. And now we get 400, which is the value here and the value here. So those are the sales numbers for the North store for PB001 in January added up. So that's how you can use SUMIFS if you've got a SUMIF with multiple criteria. And if you want a more in-depth video on SUMIFS, then check out the link in the description below. All right, next up, we're going to have a look at the CONCAT function, which you can use to just put some text strings together. So what I'll do is I'll just type in equals CONCAT and open the brackets. And then you just need to choose the first bit of text. So I'll just say north up here in A2, comma, and then you can choose the next bit of text. So let's just say we want to put that together with the stock keeping unit, and we'll close that off. And there we have north PB001 as just a single string of text. So that's how you can use CONCAT to put strings of text together that are in separate cells. Okay, let's have a look and see how the if function works now. And what we'll do is we'll just evaluate whether the January total sales number is greater than the February total sales number. So we'll just start off by typing equals if and opening the brackets. Okay, so the logical test is going to be if that number is greater than that number, and then comma. So now we need to just say what value we want to return in this cell if it's true. So I'll just say yes, but I'll have to put that in quotes and comma. And the value if it's false, I'll say no. And then we'll close that off. Okay, so that's telling us no. So it's evaluating whether 3,800 is greater than 7,775. And of course the answer is no. So that's why we're getting the value if false. Okay, now we're going to see how we can look up value PC006, which is a stock keeping unit, and return the product name. So let's just type in equals VLOOKUP and open the brackets. Now the lookup value is going to be PC006. So I could type that in, or I could just reference that cell there, which is what I'll do by clicking on it, and then comma. The table array is going to be all of the stock keeping units and product names, comma. The column index number that we're going to return is column 2. So it's the second column within that array, which is column C, and that's a 2, comma. And then we want to tell Excel whether we're okay with an approximate match or whether we want an exact match. And we do want an exact match. So you can actually put false in here, or you can actually just type in a 0, which is what I'll do, and close that off. Okay, so that has returned phone case as the name, which is a little bit hard to see in that cell. Okay, now we're going to use the index match function combination to extract the name of the product for stock keeping unit PC006. So I'll just come down here and type in equals index open brackets. So the array is going to be the product names, comma, and the row number is going to actually be based on a match of PC006. So I need to type in match and open the brackets. The lookup value, I could type in PC006 here, or I can reference the cell, which is at I16, comma. The lookup array where we're trying to find PC006 is over here in column B, so all the stock keeping units, comma. Now I want it to be an exact match, so I'll type in 0, close the brackets. So that's the match function done. And we've also done the index function, so we can close the brackets again and press enter. And there we get phone case. Okay, so that's how you can use index match to extract that information. And again, if you want a more in-depth lesson, check out the link in the description below to our video on index match. Okay, so that's all 11 of the most popular functions in Excel. That's a quick look at them. Again, if you want more in-depth videos, check out the links in the description below. And if you can learn all 11 of those functions, you can go a long way towards creating whatever spreadsheets you like.